Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is the 5th of February, 2025, and we are hopefully on the cusp of a breakout. Last night, we're going to go through all of this today, but last night we had the meetings of minds, we had the press conference, we had everybody who's anybody in America stand in front of a microphone for half an hour and talk about nothing but crypto. It was the first time in history that has ever happened. Something I didn't expect to see even 2 years ago. Even last year, I didn't expect to see it. So bullish news. And of course, if you look at some of the titles today, buy crypto, buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, buy Sol, okay? We don't normally come out and give you these types of calls. We're very, very conservative here, but if you are going to get in, like we said in September before that leg up, if you're going to get in, now is the time to do it. But be careful. Don't go and buy everything. We covered it yesterday. Buy the top assets. So today, what are we going to go through? We're going to go through Bitcoin. We're going to go through what Hester Peirce has had to say. We are going to go through Ethereum, Solana. We're going to go through what people call the next Sui. Is that going to happen? We're going to look at India, RIP India. What is that about? You'll have to wait and find out. All of this in an hour. We have some X-Files and we have some charts today as well. So we have a lot to get through. We try and do this in an hour. If you're new here, smash the like button, say hello in chat, give us a wave, let us know you're here. Also, very important, tonight, this date is wrong. This was supposed to be last week. Last Wednesday, we had a power cut. The Wi-Fi router blew up and we had a storm. So we've rescheduled this for tonight. It is an interactive quiz, which means you can play along. We ran a test of it last night with the Oracle. He got a few people in there. I think there was 4 or 5 of us testing it. It kind of works pretty good. Obviously, it's a work in progress, but tonight at 7 p.m., that's 8 hours from now, we are going to do our very first ever Quid game, where we're going to look at the project Mew, Cat in a Dog's World. It's a project, it's a meme, it's a community, it's a movement. We're going to go through that. We are going to go through the charts. We're going to go through the project. We're going to go through meme coins in general. That's tonight at 7 p.m. Do not miss it. In fact, the poll of the day is, are you going to be able to make it? And so far, only 4 people have voted. Come on, vote. So that's what we're going to do tonight. But today, we're going to get into it. The charts, Bitcoin coming in at 97.5, hasn't really moved. Ethereum has moved back up, heading towards $2,800. Again, I don't think the prices quite reflect what happened last night, but we'll go through that. So Bitcoin, pretty much as you were. Ethereum as you were. XRP still at a decent price of $250. Yesterday, I said $4 is the next leg up for XRP. It will get back above $3. $4 is kind of hard-coded in as far as I'm concerned. Again, Solana, don't fade Solana. It's unusual to see BNB there. Very unusual. BNB has been 3rd and 4th for a very long period of time. To see it down there, very unusual. Cardano, again, that's going to go back above $1 before you can say Charles Hoskinson's beard. And a few others, Tron making up the top there. So again, the market has had a delayed reaction, in my opinion, to what happened last night. And I'm going to show you the wink that happened last night that's going to give the game away. Now then, Melania Trump, the Oracle, is supposed to have made a video, which hopefully he's going to make this week. And the video is very simply this: Trump versus Melania. Which of these 2 coins should you look at? Again, the meme coins, you shouldn't look at them, but it's a bit of fun. So that's the video that was supposed to have been made on Monday or Tuesday. I think it's going to be made tomorrow. They're both recovering. Dog with Hat is up there. Aave, Pudgy Penguins. Again, the layer 2s, the memes, the gaming tokens are making a recovery. Not many losers, I don't think. No, Athena is down there. Gito, the coin that I won't say. Casper is down there. Radium. Not many losers, not many gainers. I don't think that today is the day that we are going to see us rip up to the upside. Again, the worries of us ripping to the downside, I think, have been allayed. The tariff wars were causing that to happen. Now then, we've got a lot of X-Files, and they're in absolutely no order because there's so many little things to pick out of places that I wanted to try and give you as many as I can. So they're not in any order. I do apologize about that. Algorand Foundation confirms its entire blockchain is quantum resistant and ideal for tracking government spending via Doge. Remember, Elon, Charles, and the gang, they're going to look at how they can integrate blockchain technology into the American government. Now, this isn't going to be one blockchain. Let me be clear. There will not be one blockchain. It will not be Algorand for the entire American government. There is likely, in my opinion, to be 3 or 4. We are likely to see Ethereum in the finance sector. We're likely to see the likes of XRP in the payment sector. We're going to see Cardano in there in some way, shape or form, probably to do with records. And Algorand is likely to be used in there for transactions. So there won't be one blockchain. Okay, there is a market tracker that shows you the ISO accredited cryptos. There's also a list of American-based cryptos. You need to look at both of them because they are likely to do incredibly well as well. Fidelity has just bought $50,000 worth of ETH. Whales are loading up on ETH. Again, I'm going to keep showing you these things. It's not a case of you looking at the charts and saying ETH is finished. Look at who's buying the ETH. Trump and his foundation. BlackRock, Fidelity. Yes, they're buying them through the ETFs. But World Liberty Finance isn't. Look at what they are telling you. Okay? We said it yesterday. Eric Trump, whether you like him or not, came out and said ETH isn't a bad investment. People are talking about a $10,000 ETH. I'd be happy with $8,000. We're at 2,700 now. So you're looking at a 3x on the second biggest crypto. It's not a bad call. So the European regulator MiCA requires Circle to swap part of its reserves from T-bills into uninsured European bank deposits. This makes USDC not only weaker, it also renders it impossible to keep one-to-one backing in US dollars cash and cash equivalents without on-chain KYC. Now, again, the European Union is a basket case. We were calling America a basket case 3 years ago. The European Union doesn't know its bottom from its elbow. The USDC stablecoin is pegged to the dollar. It's pegged to the dollar. What the European Union are asking is that if the dollar, the stablecoin, they classify it as a cryptocurrency, if they want that in the European Union, they have to use European bank deposits. It's utter nonsense. Absolute utter nonsense. I wholly understand if they want the euro stablecoin. I get that, but not for the dollar. I mean, I think Trump's going to have a word in their ear very, very soon, put them straight, and then the Europeans can get back in their box where they belong. Okay, Senator Bill Hegarty. Again, there's a lot of more political, policy-based news coming out because we're at that stage. We've got Trump. We're 3 weeks into his, or 2.5 weeks into his presidency. The policy changes have to happen before the blow-off tops. Before we see the $150,000, $160,000 Bitcoin, we need to see the policies implemented. That's what all of this is going for. This is the Genius Act, a bill that establishes a clear framework for stablecoins. This should have been introduced 3 years ago. Should have been done on Biden's watch. They're playing catch up. The amount of policy change going on in crypto, not everything else, the amount of policy change going on crypto at this moment in time in America is absolutely unbelievable. The strategic reserve, the changes to the SEC, the stablecoin legislation, there is just tons of it. Now, this is the wink. I can't play the volume, but there is a wink. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There was the wink. Did we all see the wink?
Was to evaluate the
This gentleman, I think there was about 4 of them, they stood up and they discussed what was going to happen with crypto. And they were from the commodities, farming, they were House representative. Obviously, the Tsar was there, Sachs was there. They discussed crypto. And when somebody asked about the Bitcoin strategic reserve, is there a particular reason? I can't click. There we go. Now, the issue is that they all know that we want the strategic Bitcoin reserve. They all know it. That's why they're smiling. This is a pantomime, okay? But it's a pantomime where we know the story. We know what happens to the Wicked Witch. We know what happens. And that is the strategic Bitcoin reserve. They also know that when it's talked about, Bitcoin is going to go through the roof. So let's relax. It's going to happen, okay? We're going to see it. We're going to see the Bitcoin strategic reserve, and everyone's going to be happy. It wasn't announced yesterday. They didn't announce the 1 million Bitcoin being bought, but who cares? Right then. So Blockman Sachs. Now, ignore the numbers, okay? This is a finger in the air look at who is buying Bitcoin and what countries are buying Bitcoin. You might see your country in here. You might not. So you obviously have America in number 1 position, the UK in number 2. Then you Egypt number 2. Then you have the UK number 3. You've then got Italy up there. You've got Salvador, of course. You've got Salvador up there. So this is just a little bit of a finger in the air sample population of who is buying what. Switzerland is in there, of course. Why wouldn't they be? Canada is in there. So it's just a rough idea of who's buying what. And again, it's just to show you these are very, very small numbers because retail isn't here yet. That's a key. If retail ever gets here, let's bear in mind, the reason that we had such a blow off top in the last bull run was so many more people came to crypto. This bull run, we've already got so many people here. Maybe we don't see that massive surge. And again, tech dev, this is a chart showing you where we are. This is I think this is Bitcoin. I could be wrong. It might be the market cap. Who knows? Look at where the green dots are. Look at where the red dots are. You want to sell the red in this instance, and you want to buy the green in this instance. We are not topping out anytime soon in crypto. And we're going to show you the 2 charts I'm going to show you in a minute. One is the total market cap. The other is the total market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum. Because even though they're very similar, slight variances, you need to see where we are in this cycle. I don't think we're there yet. Now, you see a lot of tribalism in crypto. This is another one, except in this instance, you're now going to see a war starting. Solana has 10 times more users than Ethereum. Solana has 10 times more users than Ethereum. The people are choosing Solana. Solana is undervalued. Again, yesterday I brought up an article where somebody said, we've gone to Solana, it's cheaper, faster, quicker, whatever it might be. Don't listen to these types of conversations, okay? Ethereum doesn't need the volume of users that Solana has. Ethereum is TradFi, traditional finance. The big money is coming to Ethereum. Retail is coming to Solana. They're 2 totally different crowds. The meme coin generation, the NFT generation, they're on Solana. The Ethereum generation, the men in suits, the BlackRocks, the Goldman Sachs, they are going to be on Ethereum. That's going to be their base. When crypto exchanges, when stock exchanges are built on the crypto blockchain, they're probably going to be built on Ethereum. That's where I would be building it. So that's where the money is going, okay? The people are going to Solana. There will be enough people on Solana to make it a successful chain. There will be enough money on Ethereum to make that a successful chain. So do not worry too much when you see things like this. People make things final these days. Nothing is final. You can hold Ethereum, you can hold Solana, and you can hold Bitcoin. Simple. Hold them all. You don't have to back one horse in this race, even though they tell you this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. You need to buy this. You have to hold everything in Ethereum. You have to hold everything in Solana. No, you don't. Ignore that. Right then, this is the total market cap of crypto. Okay, and this shows you where we are right now. Okay, we are coming in and we are in the same kind of range. All of these charts are showing us the same thing, which is we break into the range at the end of November, which we did. And now we are simply in this range, okay? When we break out, the market cap is going to break up here, okay? Maybe it goes 4.5 trillion, 4.4 trillion, around that. That would be 50% more than where we are now, roughly, okay? So that's where we're going. But look at what happens. We have these breakouts, and then we just tread. Then we break out, and then we just tread. You have to take the boring sideways action with the pumps. Bitcoin can't just go straight up, okay? But we're in a nice range, and this is the one that is the alt season here. Lots of people say this chart's going to show you where we are with the alt season. Now, yes, there are more alts than there were 4 years ago. Yes, we know all of those things. But look, in terms of the market cap, in terms of the amount of money in the altcoins, look at where we are. This was the previous all-time high for the alts, which was coming in about just under 3 trillion. We're now sitting, that's not the right one. That is not the right one. This is the right one. There we go. Thought it was wrong. Okay, this is where we are. Now, this is pretty much where we were in 2021 blow off top, November 2021 blow off top. Look where we are right now. Okay, we are in the same area. That means we haven't had the blow off top for the alts yet. We topped out at 1.13 trillion. This time we topped out at 1.16 trillion. So although the total market cap is higher because Bitcoin has gone on to be almost probably 30% higher than its previous, or no, 100% higher nearly than its all-time high previously. The alts haven't. The alts are still sitting at where we were in the last bull run. So what I think that means to me is that alt season hasn't started. I think we do this. Again, I'm not predicting that it goes from 1 trillion to 10 trillion. That's not what I'm saying. We are going to have the breakout of this. And this is going to indicate or be another one of the indications that we're going to have an alt season. But we're not there yet. So the people calling for the end of the cycle isn't normally in January or February. We normally have a sideways period. We normally have a little bit of sideways action. Okay, so if you go back to, let's have a look at, even if we go back to last year, okay, so this is January and February last year. What did we do? We shot up, we went sideways. Okay, January and February is here. We're going to blow off at some point. Okay, it's going to happen. It might not happen today or tomorrow. We said the same thing, believe it or not. We said the same thing in September last year. We said we're going to have a blow off and it's going to start in this month. But it doesn't mean it's going to happen on the 1st of February, or it's not going to be finished by the 1st of March. There is no specific time. It's just the period when it happens. So it might happen on the 14th of February, the 13th of February, and then it might run through to the 20th of March. It doesn't mean it's going to happen on the 1st of February and finish dead on the 10th of March. This is the period now where we have the next leg up, okay? And there's nothing, as far as I can see, that is going to cause that to diminish to the downside. Now, before we get on, I need to say hello to a few people. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Eugene. Good morning, Mags. Danny is here. KB, Velvet Rope, Kishan. Good morning to you all. I hope you are all well. So then, this is the man. Mr. Sachs says potential Bitcoin reserve to be one of crypto committee's first priorities. This was the big news yesterday. Why? Look, it's not even half the screen these days. So Donald Trump's newly appointed crypto czar David Sachs on Tuesday announced the formation of a bipartisan bicameral committee to establish a clear regulatory framework for digital asset industry. One of the first priorities of the committee would be to ascertain the feasibility of a Bitcoin reserve. Now, we know we're going to get a Bitcoin reserve because the likes of Hester Peirce, which we're going to talk about in a minute, have come out and talked about changes to the SEC. We have Cynthia Lummis coming out. She's also talking about the Bitcoin reserve bill. So we know it's there. So one of the things the President instructed us to do was to evaluate the idea for Bitcoin reserve. It's one of the first things we're going to look at. We're still waiting for sub-cabinet secretaries on the working group to get confirmed. He said at a press conference, we want that value creation to happen in the US rather than giving it away to other countries. Now, bear in mind, if this had happened 12 months ago, the top would have been blown off Bitcoin. It never happened. People, in fact, sold into this news. Buy the rumor, sell the news. People sold into it. He highlighted the need to reverse the years of regulatory uncertainty that has driven crypto innovation offshore. Arbitrary enforcement actions, lack of guidance. He argued that keeping crypto domestic would drive growth but empower consumer protection. The committee's goal is to deliver comprehensive legislation focused on cementing the US leadership in digital assets. It's like trying to read this through a letterbox. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Bazinga will be the last time I ever use Bazinga ever again. This is utter nonsense. So we'll skip this. I can talk you through what happened. The task force is going to be multiple different departments of people. It's not just going to be government officials. There's also going to be crypto-related individuals in the group. Okay? Now, hopefully, this lady is going to be the key. Now, I said way back when she should have been put in charge of the SEC. Clearly, they had better ideas for her, and now she is heading up the crypto task force. Now, again, this is massively bullish news because she's pro-crypto. She did say something very interesting yesterday, which I don't necessarily agree with. She basically said, if you put your money into something which has no value proposition, no roadmap, no way of making money, and you lose all of your money, then that's on you. Now, I get that. People should be allowed to do what they want with their money. If they want to go to a casino and put it all on black and it comes up red and they lose everything, that's fine. But there still needs to be consumer protection. And she said, basically, if you lose money on a meme coin, don't cry about it, which I think is a very odd thing to say. But it might be setting out the stance for what they're going to go after, which is really big bad actors. Maybe. Right then, this without going into it, because there's an awful lot of very, very boring information in here. This is the letter. She starts to talk about when she was young. She talks in great depth about what the commission is going to work on. This down here is the list of the key points which are important. The security status, scoping it out, coin and token offerings, registering those offerings. Hopefully, I am back. Yes, perfect. ETFs, agencies, cross-border sandbox, and what they have introduced is this. They have introduced a way for you to get hold of the SEC and talk to them. Okay, you can communicate with them. You can email them. I think there's an email address, which is crypto. Here we go. Who would have thought that we would have crypto@sec.gov? Who would have thought that? I wouldn't. So, just to clarify before we move on, because the next thing we're going to talk about is Ethereum. Just to clarify, we have Hester Peirce in charge of the task force. We have Sachs in charge of the crypto movement, who is also massively pro-crypto. We have all the departments in the American government working towards a strategic reserve and stablecoin legislation. All of these things are happening, and we have a $97,000 Bitcoin, okay? The price does not reflect what's happening, okay? Maybe in the past, we've gone to 106, 107,000 because it's been based on rumor. Now we're getting the meat and bones of what's going on. It's all massively, massively positive. Okay? Again, not just Bitcoin, but Ethereum as well. Ethereum ETF volumes surge as the ETH Bitcoin plunges to its lowest since 2021. So basically, the Ethereum value against Bitcoin is losing. I think we're down below 0.03, but the volume in the ETFs is skyrocketing. World Liberty Finance are buying Ethereum. There's a lot of Ethereum buying going on. Why is it important to understand this? Why would the BlackRocks of this world want to buy a $3,500 Ethereum when they can buy a $2,600 Ethereum? Why would they buy a $108,000 Bitcoin when they can buy a $97,000 Bitcoin? Okay, so although they do want the price to go up over time, of course they do. They do talk about the $200,000 or $300,000 target they've got for Bitcoin, which is fine. Ethereum is the same. Talking about an $8,000 or $10,000 Ethereum is fine. But there will be times where, if the price happens to be suppressed or happens to be down, and they can come in and start buying these tokens up at a cheaper price, they will make more money. So although it's a double-edged sword for them, they want the price as cheap as possible to buy, but they want to give their investors enough of a return to keep them interested. So they just have to try and balance it out. And we've seen this in the past. And I'm not going to go off on a tangent, but there are many stories and many finds to do with the price of silver and the manipulation of the price of silver. It's gone on in the past. I'm not saying it's going on now in crypto because these are quite big assets, but wouldn't surprise me in the future if things come out that the price may have been manipulated. BlackRock is a perfect example. Before anything was announced about the ETF, BlackRock set up a third-party company and started buying Bitcoin at $15,000 and $20,000. Okay, that happened. That is on the record. So if they can do it then, they can certainly do it now. Would I be surprised if I found out that Solana had moved up so violently because BlackRock was buying Solana? No, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Shouldn't surprise you either, because this is the game they play. It's a juggling act between price, profit. That's all they care about. So even though Ethereum is going down, and it absolutely tanked during the correction over the weekend, the ETF volume is surging. Okay, on Monday, 1.5 billion in trading volume, 23% increase on the previous record, which was in December. Now, of course, the volume isn't wholly buying Ethereum, okay? It wasn't $1.5 billion of purchases. It was the buying and the selling. It all counts. The ETH A fund led with trading volume 736. The Grayscale ETH fund 415. Fidelity 155. Bitcoin ETFs, on the other hand, recorded 235 million in outflows. Okay, so it's happening in front of your eyes. You just need to be aware of it. Buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum. These are very good prices. Even if we only go to $6,000 or $5,500 this cycle for Ethereum, you will make 100% on your Ethereum. 100% profit on your Ethereum. If you buy Bitcoin today at $98,000 and we only hit $150,000 in this cycle, you will have made 50% profit. Okay? We'll get onto Solana in a minute. But it's all happening right there for you to see. Good morning, Tariq. I hope you are well. Remember, everybody, before I forget, we are halfway through the stream. Very quickly, one thing to bear in mind. This is tonight. Ignore that date. It is tonight. It was supposed to be last week. Power cut. Wi-Fi router blew up. Storm. Everything stopped us from last week. It's going to be tonight. And it's the first interactive quiz we've ever done. A few of you in chat took part last night. I think there's about 4 of us in chat. And we all tested it. Few bugs, but it works. Tonight, in 7.5 hours. I'm excited for it. I haven't done it. The Oracle's built it. Very excited for that. So Ethereum, for me, buy Ethereum. Buy Bitcoin. Okay? And buy Solana. Okay. The reason I think that we are in a lull, apart from the cycles that we've had. So we are in a cycle. Bitcoin traditionally does go up in March, February and March, is the news that's come out. The market is getting mixed news. On one hand, we have the tariff wars, China, Canada, Mexico. Trump is meeting with Xi this week or next. That will all be sorted out. Canada and Mexico have already had their agreements. That delay has been for 30 days. That's going to get sorted out. The people that you watch or you read telling you that Trump is going to ruin the economy have clearly never read Art of a Deal or Art of the Deal. Okay? These are not meant to be long-term policy decisions. They are sticks to beat people with. That's what he's trying to do. It's a threat. He is a bully, if you want to call him that. But he's trying to look after American jobs. That's what he's doing. On that side, we have all of that going on, which is the macro. On the other side, you look at the positive side, the crypto side, what we've just talked about, the stable coins, the strategic reserve, Hester Peirce. All of that is positive. The SEC is being reduced. They're cutting the number of lawyers and they're being reassigned. So you have this yin and yang going on of the good and the bad. Traditionally, when we've seen Bitcoin make whacking great big moves, we've seen more yang than yin, haven't we? More bullish news, or one spark that lights the tinder that sends Bitcoin on its merry way. Okay, so although we want to go up, we're being weighed down by all of these things. Now, again, I don't want to sound like a stuck record and say the same thing every single day. We made a video called Donald's Ducks, if you remember, 2 months ago. We gave you the list of ducks. There is now a new set of ducks. Okay, and those ducks are the trade wars being finished, the other conflicts being finished, interest rates coming down, oil being pumped out of the ground, more money coming to the economy with the money printer being turned on, which is going to happen anytime now. So the ducks need to be in place so the air to lift Bitcoin is lighter than the negative. And that's where we're stuck at the minute. So this is just pulling us down a little bit. Remember, said this yesterday, we're 10% below all-time highs. 10% below the all-time high. And people are negative, people are sad because their alts are getting wrecked. Your alts will not go up until Bitcoin dominance breaks down. Bitcoin dominance is over 60%. It's not broken down. Your alts are not going to pump. But what does that mean? It means you buy them. Buy your Ethereum, buy your Solana, buy Sui, buy Cardano, buy XRP. Those are what are going to pump after Bitcoin has had its fill. Solana price rebound. Sol futures are mixed, but on-chain looks bullish. Sol's in the early stages of a recovery, and the network's steady adoption could support longer-term price growth. The token, $205, it held that 200 line really well. It staged a 22% rebound after hitting 180. I think my target was 183. Not far off, but I gave you my target, I think, after it hit 180 anyway. Got to 215. Still sitting at 205. It's a solid price for where we are now. Again, it's still pulled back by the macro. The Sol futures contracts typically trade at a premium. They're 5 or 10% normally. This will show you where traders think the price of Sol is going to go. The current futures discount might indicate traders are skeptical. Historical data suggests that such positioning does not always predict the market. Again, why should you be bullish on Solana, XRP, for example, in 2025? Very simply put, the 3 ETFs that we're likely to see this year are Litecoin, Solana, and XRP. That's it. So Solana and XRP are certainly going to have their rip. For Tariq, we're certainly going to see the Litecoin ETF. Are we going to see $300 Litecoin this year? Maybe. I don't know what we're at now, 130, 125. So I think Litecoin will have its time. Solana and XRP will have its time. But the only thing at the back of my mind with Solana is Grayscale dumping Solana when the ETF goes live. They did it with Bitcoin. They did it with Ethereum. So maybe we hold Solana until the ETF goes live. And maybe we consider getting out of Solana a few days before. So what time is it? 11:36. How long do we have? Right, okay, I've got time to look at the Solana chart. Again, we've looked at a few of these things recently. We don't have to keep looking at them, but why not? We've got time. Let's have a look. I'm trying not to cough as much as I have been because I've been blowing Packer's eardrums out, and I do apologise. I've turned the volume up. Hopefully I'm a lot louder than I have been, but I can't turn it up much louder or it will crop, and I'm trying not to cough. Even though you might hear a little tiny splutter, I am feeling a little bit better. Right, Solana then. Where are we? Where are we on Solana? Right where we should be is the answer. There we go. Okay. So, lots and lots of scribbles on the chart, which I should probably get rid of from stream to stream, but I keep them on there because you can see what I've drawn on previous streams, so you can see whether I've been telling porcupines or not. So we look at the daily. That's the easiest thing to look at. It shows you a little bit of a longer vision on Solana, rather than looking at the hour or the 4 hour. That doesn't tell us anything really. What we have done is we got above the bull market support band in October last year. And if you look, we have, like a trampoline, bounced off it. So, given that we bounce off the bull market support band and we're now currently sitting at the bull market support band, what do you think is next? Because my arrow is going to indicate, that's a very high arrow, that's going to indicate where we're going to go. And that is, I expect us to get to $600 there or thereabouts by the end of the year. Okay? $200 now, 3x from where we are. To recap then, 50% increase on Bitcoin between now and the end of the bull run. That's my target. I'm not giving you a signed contract. That's what I believe. Ethereum, a minimum of a 2x. So what does that put us at? 5,600, 5,700, something like that. I expect us to go higher, maybe to 8,000 to 10,000 if it's part of the strategic reserve. Solana, $200. We will hit $1,000 only if everything could go right that can go right. Strategic reserve, ETF, cutting interest rates, BlackRock moving or adding Solana to its base of DeFi platforms, then we might get somewhere near 1,000. $600 to $1,000. It's not impossible, but remember this, it's not going to stay there, okay? You look at these things and you think, oh, it's just going to keep going. No, it's not. It's going to get a blow off top and then it's done for, okay? Look at what happened in the previous cycle. Okay, where were we? Beginning of the cycle, $40. End of the cycle, or not beginning of the cycle, sorry. Beginning of the blow off top, we went from 40 to 260. Okay, Now we're in a different situation. We're at 200. We can't expect to 6x or 7x and go to $1,200 or $1,400. We have to remember the market cap is a lot higher. So $600 in this kind of pattern here, which is kind of like, we're never going to go up in a straight line. So this kind of pattern is where I think we're going to go. I think a minimum of $600. And remember, if we're at $300 in March or April, we're only talking about another 100% by the end of the year. And that's when things go crazy. Now, if we don't get there and it doesn't happen, what's the worst case scenario for me for Solana? We don't get the ETF. The strategic reserve only includes Bitcoin. Nobody moves to Solana. Nobody starts building on Solana. Ethereum gets all the press because Ethereum is Trump's favorite coin. That could suppress us down to $400 or $500. Yes, but I think the truth is going to fall somewhere in the middle. And that's why I think $600 for me for Solana. So when I'm saying buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, and buy Solana, they're good prices. Even this year, we wicked up to $295. So the $300 target, which I had for the end of last year, we only hit it on the 19th of January. So I was wrong by 3 weeks. Let me point that out. I made a video at the beginning of January explaining how right or wrong I was on various different coins. Some coins, way off. Other coins, pretty much spot on. I think getting to $300 is the key now for me for Solana. Break that $300 level and then see where we go. Ethereum, I have the same thing with. We need to break that $4,000 with Ethereum. Bitcoin is a bit different. Bitcoin is always going to be a lot higher. I think breaking 110, 120, 130, they're all going to have their own resistances. But for me, I think $300, break that level and then see where we end up. But I'm still bullish on those coins. I still think there's a lot of money to be made in the top 10 coins. That's why I'm going to change my stance a little bit and have changed my stance a little bit, which is to pick coins with $100 million market cap. There's still time for them to go to $1 billion and $2 billion, but now's the time to take the 1-0 wins. You're going to try and win the league. You don't want to win it with expansive football, winning 5-0 away every week. You want to pick up the 3 points. You want to win every game. And that might mean sacrificing your degen behavior to lock in the coins that are going to be front and center. Charles Hoskinson and Brad Garlinghouse, Vitalik Buterin, even Anatoly starting to show his face, Michael Saylor. What do they all have in common? You see their faces every week. Those 5 projects are going to be here at the end of this bull run and going to have done quite well. If you're seeing those faces, so is retail. So when we start to see the news, the real news talking about crypto, not crypto news, they're going to remember Charles's face, Brad's face, Michael Saylor's face, Anatoly, maybe if he starts showing himself a bit more. And of course, you're going to see Michael Saylor. But who else is going to be seen there? You've seen Chris Marszalek. I can never pronounce his surname. Chris Marszalek is going to be there as well because he's going to be on the round table. So keep that in mind. I don't just pick random coins and I don't just pick the 5 coins. I pick the ones with the most eyes on. And we're getting to the point now where I don't want you saying, I'm going to go and buy Dave AI, which I think Kabir was going to go and buy yesterday. Good morning, Solo Sky. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Right then, experts discussed the best cryptos to mimic Sui's meteoric rise in the past 12 months. This is an interesting one. I've skimmed through this. I haven't read through it. Now, why is this important? These articles, excuse me, I get messages and DMs all the time from people suggesting coins that they want to buy. Should I buy X? Should I buy Y? Should I buy Z? And I think those coins appear in these types of articles. Which coin should you buy that's going to go to the market cap of Bitcoin or Solana or Ethereum? The answer is none of them, not in this bull run, okay? So we're going to go through this and we're going to assess and we're going to rate out of 10 what we think these coins are going to do in this bull run. Because Sui had its bull run. Ton had its bull run. Now it's had its retracement. Okay? Every cycle you get a coin that comes out of nowhere. In the previous bull run, it was Solana. In this bull run, I would say Sui and I would say Ton. Can't think of many other coins that have done as well as they have. So what coins are they predicting could copy Sui? Now, again, ignore this. Okay? This will be a sponsored article, and Crypto Daily will put in coins which they're being sponsored to put in. Okay? It's a common thing. It's why I tell people, don't believe everybody that you listen to on the internet. Don't believe me. Don't believe Altcoin Daily. Don't believe Cryptos R Us. Don't believe any of them. Okay? Do your own research and ask yourself a question. Why are they talking about that coin? Why are they talking about a coin you've never heard of, even though you've been in crypto for a year? The very simple answer is money. They are being paid to talk about it. Why does Raoul Pal talk about Sui all the time? It's because he's on the board. What did he talk about before Sui? Solana. What did he talk about before Solana? Ethereum. So even though I think Raoul Pal is one of the most intelligent people, I think he's a super brainy guy, really knows his stuff, knows the macros, knows everything, even he still follows the greenback. So what do I think of these coins, and do I think they are going to follow the same trajectory? I said that Monero was finished in a video about 6 months ago. Why? Because privacy in crypto only needs to go so far, in my opinion, and then it needs to be stopped. Because we cannot have the Wild West and adoption at the same time. It's not going to work. Privacy coins are going to be outlawed over time. They're already banned in certain countries. Certain crypto exchanges have also removed Monero. For me, a solid and hard pass. Okay? If you want to have your privacy and keep your money to yourself so no one knows that you've got it, and you're going to keep it on a cold storage wallet, fine. Go and buy Monero. Let's say Monero goes to $10,000. Okay? And you 50, 100x your money. And then you want to use Monero to buy things with. And you want to bring it down to your bank account because you want to buy a house. How do you explain to your bank manager where the money has come from? And then you turn around in the cold light of day and say, actually, I've had it in Monero on a cold storage wallet, so no one knows I've had it, and I've kept it there for the last 10 years, and now it's worth all this money, and I want to bring it down. And he says to you, brilliant, can you show proof of buying it? No. Can you show proof of where it's been? No, because it's a security, it's a privacy coin, okay? I wouldn't go near it because just your association with it makes you look dodgy. The same way, the Tor browser, okay? You can use the Tor browser and nobody knows what you're looking at, maybe apart from the CIA. But apart from them, nobody knows what you're looking at. But by using it, you're guilty by association. By using Monero, you're guilty by association. Don't go down that path. We've got 10 months left, okay? Tron, would I hold Tron? Yep. Solid coin. So Monero, in terms of replicating Sui's price surge, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. Don't think it's going to happen. Can Tron replicate Sui's price surge? Well, Tron's already a top 10 coin. So no, it's not going to replicate the gains of Sui. It's already there. Okay? It's already in World Liberty Finance. Okay? They might as well have put Bitcoin in here. Okay? So what is the chances that Tron is going to do the multiples that Sui did? 1 out of 10. Tron's already there. It's a good coin to buy because it's with Trump. It's in the psyche of the administration in America. You've got Justin Sun, who is a very front-facing individual. He's already out there. He's made his comments known about Ethereum, which I don't think he should have done, but there we go. So Tron for me, yeah, it's brilliant. It's a great coin. It's quick, but it's not going to replicate the gains of Sui, which is what we're talking about. Casper, every crypto streamer you watch talks about Casper. I don't, because everybody else talks about it. Super quick. I believe one of the Bitcoin miners started to mine Casper. Will it replicate Sui? No, it won't. I think it's got a better chance than the other three, okay, as replicating Sui. But Casper, if you base your opinions on other streamers, they will tell you Casper is good. But I've already told you not to believe anybody you leave. Don't believe anything I say, but certainly don't believe people. If you go onto a stream, as I've said, and people are talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dave AI, they've been paid to talk about Dave AI. And I get a feeling at the back of my mind that Polkadot and Casper are paying streamers to talk about them. I can't prove it. Of course I can't prove it. But there's just something there. Where all the big streamers talk about Casper. And I don't know why. Because it's not front and center anywhere else other than on their streams. So for me, if I had to pick one, if I had to buy one of these coins with $1,000, I would buy $800 worth of Tron and $200 worth of Casper. That's the kind of weighting I would give you. And I would give Casper a 6 out of 10 for getting anywhere near where Sui got to. But for me, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it? One of those things. Anyway, let's move on very quickly. How long do we have left? We've got some time. Now, this is about all of our poor Indian-based viewers, family, friends. Indian government slaps 70% taxes on unreported crypto gains in new amendments. Now, it's hefty, I'll give you that. But India is one of the powerhouses of crypto in terms of the users, in terms of the user base. There are a lot more Indian X accounts than many other countries. India has adopted crypto faster than the Indian government has adopted crypto. So there's a disparity. Now, there is some arguments about why that happens. Maybe it's because the Indian government is so used to being in control of the money supply. Maybe the banks are too used to having a monopoly in India, which I've been told they have. So if you've got, Africa is the same. If you've got a country where the banks have a monopoly and it makes it easy, if it makes it hard for you to get a bank account and then crypto comes along, you're going to see mass adoption, which you've seen in Africa and you're seeing in India. Maybe that's the reason. But they're now going to give you 70% tax on the gains on unreported gains. Now, I don't know how they're going to do this because it's unreported. Are they going to track people down and say, you've got 4 Bitcoin, you bought them for $10,000, it's now $100,000, you owe us $65,000 per Bitcoin? Is that what they're going to do? Okay. I don't know. But I think it's meant to be a deterrent rather than anything else. So you're going to pay tax penalties if they don't report their gains. New legislation in the country of 1.46 billion people proposes that reporting entities must submit information regarding their transactions to the authority. A non-filer taxpayer can file updated at any time from the previous year within 48 months from the end of the relevant year. So they're giving you 4 years to do this. The additional income tax liability for additional income disclosed as follows, gives you a breakdown, 25%, 50%, 60%, and 70%. You're only paying the 70% if it's 4 years later. Okay. Do I think this is bad? No, I don't think this is that bad. I think they're giving you plenty of time to disclose your gains. And it's also an incentive to disclose your gains within the 12 months here. Now, what I would do is I would look at the 4-year Bitcoin cycle. And if you're looking to stack Bitcoin over a period of 12, 16 years, the best thing to clearly do would be to buy your Bitcoin at the bear market, sell just before the real beginning of the bear market, so you miss the top, then buy back into the bear market, and your tax that you pay, and again, this is not tax avoidance or anything like that, I'm just telling you what I would do, is I would buy back in at the bottom. That would pay you the less tax, okay? But if you sell the top and you walk away with $75,000 per Bitcoin and buy the bottom, there's a good chance that you will be able to pick up slightly more Bitcoin. You'd have to go and do the math on it. But there would be a way to maybe not lose so much. Maybe not buying the top is the right answer. Maybe not selling the top is the right answer. And again, what you don't want to do is wait 4 years to get to 70% tax. That's the last thing you want to do. Right then, we have managed to get here with 4 minutes to spare. We're doing a lot better on time than we ever have been doing. Normally, we get here and we have run out of time. Not today. So one last reminder, third reminder, this date here you can ignore. It is today. We had a power cut, storm, Wi-Fi router. This is an interactive quiz. We interact with you. It starts in 7 hours time. We've asked you if you're going to be there. We've had 15 votes. 3/4 of you will be there. That's, say, 10 people. I'm going to let you know now, we probably only need about 8 people to play the game. So if we get 10 or 15, we'll still include everybody, but we only really need a minimum of about 8 to win. It's going to follow this. Leave that on. We're going to follow the Squid Game rule. Okay? So there's going to be one prize, and that prize is going to be Mew. We're going to give away Mew to one winner. Now, normally, you've watched our streams before, you know we give away normally 5 or 10 prizes to people, and everybody wins, and more people win than normal. I want to give away more prizes than one, but the Oracle has told me we have one winner. Uno, one winner. So we might change it moving on into the next Squid Game, because this is going to become the de facto way to give away prizes. We're not going to do the Crypto Warehouse Wheel of Fortune anymore. We're going to do Squid Game, okay? Because it's more fun. Played it, more fun. I think 4 of you played it last night as well. You have to know a little bit about crypto. You have to know a little bit about what you're talking about. We're going to run it tonight. There's only going to be about 6 or 7 questions. It's going to be a whole barrel of fun. 7 p.m. tonight. Make sure you are there. Now then, a few other things to talk about. Why didn't we pump? We didn't pump last night, I think, because of the balance between the yin and the yang of the news. We should have pumped. We should have absolutely pumped. Had he said 1 million Bitcoin in the strategic reserve, we would have pumped, but he didn't. But the wink tells you everything you need to know about why we didn't. Okay? This was not about pumping your bags today. This was about laying out the groundwork to tell you why your bags are going to pump and how they're going to protect you and make sure that you buy the right assets. So that's what yesterday was about. Hester Peirce came out at the same time and released the new email address. She released all the information about how to get in touch with the SEC, how they were going to legislate, all that kind of thing. Yesterday was probably the most bullish day in crypto that we've had. Now, the price doesn't reflect that, okay? But the price, again, going back to the football analogy, you can have 26 shots on goal and the other team have 3. Another team will win 1-0. The scoreline doesn't always reflect the possession in the game and the chances created. Yesterday did not reflect the real positivity that came out of that meeting. Now, the other thing which I haven't mentioned is this crypto committee is going to be made up of different departments. The commodities, the securities are going to be involved. The czar, Sachs, is going to be involved. And then people from the crypto community are going to be involved. So I've already told you Brad Garlinghouse is at the table. I've already told you that Charles Hoskinson is going to be at the table. Do not be surprised if you see Chris Marszalek. Do not be surprised if you see Justin Sun. Okay? There will probably be other people involved as well. Maybe even Vitalik gets an invite to the round table. But it's all going in the right direction. It's going in the right direction. I can't give you any more than that. I've told you today I would be today. I would be buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. That's what I would be buying today. If you push me for 2 more coins, Cardano and XRP, okay? Take your emotion out of it. Take your dislike for Brad Garlinghouse and your dislike for Ripple out of it. The bags will pump. Cardano will pump. XRP will pump. Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. They're all going to pump. There's 5, okay? If you're a beginner, those 5 coins. If you're not a beginner, and there's lots of people out there who own Litecoin, who own AVAX, who own SUI, who own Dupe, for example, they're all going to do incredibly well. For a beginner, stick to the top 5 coins. That is what I will say. Now then, it's 12:01, end of the stream. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hopefully, Packer, I haven't coughed too much. I haven't deafened you too much. I've tried my hardest to not cough. Okay? Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Solo Sky, Tariq, Eugene, Chris. I will see you all tonight. Don't forget, we are masked up tonight. We are dressed as Quid Game. Okay? So when you tune in, I will be in full attire. Okay? It's not Halloween, but we have outfits. We have spent hundreds of dollars, literally hundreds of dollars. We've spent the budget for the next 2 years on Quid Game outfits. Okay? And as well as that, we actually have a third individual who's going to be in the studio with us tonight. We're going to have somebody, and I can't remember what it's called, the cellar, the dungeon. We have somebody who's going to come in and help us with the quiz. So I will see you all in 7 hours' time. Have a great afternoon. Oh, if I don't see you tonight, I will not be streaming tomorrow. I will be streaming on Friday. I need a day off. We don't get back till 10:30, 10 o'clock, and I haven't got enough time to get the stream ready. So I'll see you on Friday. If I don't see you tonight, take care.